Despite being out for 2 model years now, we still haven't tested a manual Volkswagen GTI on our highway fuel economy test. That changes tonight. Hey everybody, it's Charlie from Daily Motor. Today we've got the real-world highway fuel economy test on the 2023 Volkswagen Golf GTI. In today's test, we're going to head out on the highway and do 50 miles out and 50 miles back, averaging 70 miles per hour, to get you a realistic fuel economy number for this hot compact. Before we get started, calm down. Let's hop out and take a look at it. This is kind of a cool model. It's a base S manual. So honestly, it's probably the spec that I would choose if I were getting a GTI, but it's also still kind of hard to justify because you're paying about $31,000, but not getting proxy key. You're getting heated seats, so that's good. I don't know. There's a lot to talk about, so if you do want to see more on this or any of the other GTIs we reviewed, check the link in the description. We're going to have some good content brewing. So why do we do this test? Well, the EPA's highway fuel economy test, which gives this GTI 32 miles per gallon, that test only averages 48 miles per hour. We know there are people who use their vehicles for a lot of highway travel, and they'd like to know what sort of numbers you can realistically see here in the real world. In order to test that, we're going to head up over to the gas station here, fill it up, go out, do 100 miles, come back, fill up at the same pump using the same 3-click fueling method, and get a result. A few things to note for today. Outside temperature 77 degrees Fahrenheit. Our climate control is going to be set at 73 degrees auto once we get started. And our tire pressures have been set to their door placard 39 psi cold. That's a pretty high tire pressure for a sporty car like this. So I'm sure that'll help fuel economy. To be honest, right off the bat, I fully expect this car to beat its EPA numbers. German cars often do. And also, manual cars often beat EPA numbers in our testing because the EPA tests manuals, they do them dirty, put it this way. They make the manuals shift at certain points, and it just generally doesn't get to the most efficient numbers that you could actually get in the real world. So I'm excited to get this out and see what we do. I'll also have to check and see what the automatic GTI did on our testing that we had a few years ago. So let's hop out and fill it up. 5.012 gallons going in for our first fill. Now, interestingly, it does only say regular unleaded fuel is necessary, 87 octane, but I do know that this car has premium in it, and I suspect a lot of people daily driving their GTIs will be running premium. If it were me and I were going on a highway road trip, I would simply run regular, but I'm sure I'd get roasted in the comments if we put regular in here, so we're gonna run premium. Before we actually start the engine, we're going to reset the vehicle's trip computer right here, long-term data, and I'm going to reset our GPS as well, and we're ready to begin. Well, better click over here to the climate screen and auto 73. Okay. A few different drive modes here in the GTI. You've got Eco, Comfort, Sport, and Custom. I'm going to drop it into Eco. We got about 0.3 miles until the highway. I'll catch up with you right there. Now, the goal of this test isn't to hypermile. We're not trying to get the best possible fuel economy number, but rather a realistic figure. So in order to do that, we're going to get up to highway speed here at a reasonable pace and set our cruise control at a GPS indicated 72 miles per hour. That should allow us to average just about 70 over the whole test. We do have adaptive cruise control as well as travel assist and active lane keeping functionality here from Volkswagen. I'm sure we'll be utilizing both as we make our way over to the left lanes. We'll be trying not to draft or drive aggressively, inefficiently, or too efficiently, either one. Traffic easing up here at 8 o'clock. Man, got running this test later than I wanted to. Part of that was trying to get Android Auto to work on this car, and it was not happening. Had never had trouble with getting Android Auto to work on any of the other cars, except for this one. So that's why we're plugged into CarPlay. Right, settling in here, looks like 72 on the dash is giving us 72 on the GPS. Pretty accurate. Looks like we're floating between 72 and 73 on the dash. We're going to settle in there. Initial highway impressions. Decently comfortable seat, but we're here in some of that concrete road. Not too surprising. But either way, I will catch up with you at the end of the test. In the meantime, enjoy this time lapse of the entire trip. Coming into the end of the highway fuel economy test here in the manual GTI. Weaving our way through some evening traffic, but overall averaging a pretty smooth test. Was able to keep it right about 72, 73 averaged set speed, I should say. When you factor in for our turning around, average speed according to the car, 69 mph, average speed according to the GPS, 68.7. But again, that factored in us sitting at a red light for a minute there in our turnaround. Overall, I'm not too surprised that a German car does well on the highway and is not only efficient, but also just a decent place to be. Not the quietest in here, but okay, we've got some lane constricting here. But it's a good place to be, and I think doing a lot of miles wouldn't be too bad. But not the most comfortable, but also not sore. I still think it's better than the CR-V we were in recently. What do you know? There's another car there without its lights on. Come on, people. If you're driving them, first of all, just use your automatic headlights. Pretty much everyone's got automatic headlights at this point. Let's see, if we can give them a little flash. Looks like it's a Jeep Grand Cherokee, from the best I can tell. Either way, we're going to get this back to the pump, fill it on up, and see what our pump calculated numbers are. 2.851 gallons going in for our last fill. 100.1 miles divided by 2.851 gallons is giving us, interesting, quite a bit lower than the vehicle's trip read out, 35 MPG. So I think we're going to split the difference between the 38.2 that the car was getting us, here down to 38.1 at this point, and the 35. Let's, we'll do 37. 37 MPG is what we're given this one, which is a little bit lower than the automatic car we tested, even though this only has all seasons on it, and that automatic we tested a few years ago had super sticky. I don't even think they were tires that come on the car because it was a pre-production model and everything. So that one got, if I remember correctly, 38 or 39. This one we're coming in at 37. We've got a 13.2 gallon tank. 13.2 times 37 miles per gallon is giving you an effective highway cruising range of 480 miles here at 70 miles per hour in the Volkswagen GTI manual. Alright, so not the most impressive numbers we've seen out of a car in this class, but still pretty darn good. Also, it should be pointed out that the EPA tested this car on regular fuel, which I find interesting. It says regular gasoline right there. I would have thought they'd have put premium in here, but again, more power showing you that you really don't necessarily have to run premium in your car if it doesn't require it. So thank you all so much for watching. If you do want to see more on the GTI, check the link in the description, and we'll see you on the next one. I'm Charlie from Daily Motor, and as always, drive on.